The VCT China Stage 1 playoffs are starting this week, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick look at the map elo ratings for each of the teams. Then after we're gonna take a look at the power rankings I did at the start of Stage 1 and how they panned out. Then we're gonna do the power rankings coming into the playoffs. And then lastly, we're gonna do the Pickems. So without further ado, let's head right into it. And so first up with the ELO ratings, first place there's XLG and then Tailu after, who are close by each other. Then after there's EGG, then AG, and then BLG, who are quite high considering that they didn't even make playoffs. But it was really close in their group, so with them only more so recently losing in close matches, it makes sense why they are still high, but obviously that doesn't look too good. Then Trace and Tech, and then after them JDG, and then DRG, who are way too low, I would say, especially with how far off they are compared to the other teams that have made playoffs. And them, for example, beating Trace just in the last week to secure the third seed in their group. And then after there's Wolves, and then in the last two places Nova and FPX. So now let's look at my power rankings at the start of stage 1. And so well, the most obvious thing is, I would say, BLG being at the top of A tier. I was obviously way higher on them uh, than well than how good they actually have shown to be, right? From what we've seen, I do think that they looked a bit better than their placement suggests. I don't think they looked like the fifth best team in their group, but nevertheless, they didn't make playoffs, so obviously I was way too high on them. I was obviously too high on AG2. With the changes, I kind of think that was a mistake, and it didn't quite work out too well for them. But apart from that, I think it was fairly decent. Like Tailu and DRG, maybe swapping them around. But yeah, I would say overall kind of decent, a bit low on tech maybe. Um, but yeah, not too bad, I would say, apart from BLG and slightly AG maybe. But now when it comes to power ranking these teams, I think we're gonna start off in D tier with the teams that didn't make playoffs. I will put Wolves as well as Nova in D tier, probably Nova above Wolves since they won versus them. And then I would put FPX in C tier. I think they have looked better than Nova and Wolves did. So I would slightly give that edge to them. And then I would probably still put Tech in C tier. Even though they made playoffs, I haven't been convinced that they are a good team. And yeah, I would still put BLG above them, but I'm not quite sure whether to put them in C or B tier. I'm gonna come back to that in a bit. So now we're gonna look at the S tier, and I think the two S tier teams are EDG and XLG, kind of the same teams as usually. And I think they've looked very, like for sure they've looked better than the other teams. With a lot of teams showing a bit of inconsistency, I feel like these two teams have been more consistent compared to the others. So yeah, they are the two favorites to winning this split and or stage 1. And I'd be quite surprised if we won't see both of these teams at Masters London. So that's why they are in S tier. Then in A tier, I'll put Tailu, AG, and DRG. I don't know whether to put AG or DRG above. I think I'm gonna put DRG above just because I really like the team, and I think Wuxu is always he's always great. He's always performing insane. And to me, with DRG, they really live and die by life, kind of. Because if life just has a great day, then I feel like they could beat nearly every team in China. But if he has a poor game, then obviously they look more like a B tier team. So because of that, I think I will put them above AG just because of potential. But yeah, from what we've seen, maybe AG should be above DRG, but I just like DRG as a team, so because of that, I'm putting them above. And then in B tier, I will put Trace above JDG, even though I think JDG has shown a lot of potential. I feel like from Trace, we've seen more so, like more certainly stuff that has looked good, and from JDG it was a bit more rough, I would say, but still I would put them in B tier, and I think I would still put BLG in B tier, even though they didn't make playoffs. I still think that they looked better than Tech, and I still would give them, like, I would still assume if we had a playoff with BLG that they would have a better result than Tech will have. So because of that, I'm still putting them above. But yeah, obviously a very disappointing split by BLG. But now let's head into the Pickems. First up, I've gone 1-5 in week 3, so really poor week by me. But yeah, I think JDG beating Tai Lu, that was an upset. Then Tech beating FPX, slight upset, I would say. AG versus PLG, I think I thought it was gonna be a close match, so that's not too bad. Same with XIG and EDG, and then Nova beating Wolves. I don't know. Wolves have just looked way worse than I thought they would be, so makes sense. But overall, we're quite high up with the Pickems in China, so I feel at least decent about that, even though last week was a bit crap. But yeah, let's hope it goes better in the playoffs. And for the starting games, I think XLG should beat Tech. I think Tailu are a better team than JDG. AG, I think, should beat Trace, and EDG should beat DRG. I think EDG should beat AG, and XLG should beat Tailu. And so the two favorite teams for me meet in the upper final. I will give it to XLG, I think, just because historically there's always been the lower bracket run by EDG, so maybe that happens again. But yeah, I think it's gonna be such a close match between these two, and it could go either way realistically. But then in the lower bracket, I think JDG should beat Tech. DRG should beat Trace. I think AG should beat JDG, and Tailu DRG could be a really close match, but I would favor Tailu. I think Tailu should edge it out versus AG, even though this is going to be a close match too, to secure their spot at Masters London. But then fall to EDG, who I think, as I've said before, I think they are making the short lower bracket run, but taking the grand final. I think we're going to see EDG back on top in China again. And yeah, it could realistically be XIG since they always do really well within China. And yeah, I've got Tailu as the third team to make Masters London. But let me know what you guys think. Who's your third team to make Masters London? Who do you see winning stage 1? And then we're gonna see each other in the next video.